Driver who mowed down firefighter in St. Anne fined $600,000. Harleif Thomas, the driver who pleaded guilty to mowing down firefighter Lorenzo Dawes in St. Anne, has been fined $600,000 or 12 months imprisonment. Sentence was handed down in St. Anne Circuit Court on July 9. He was also suspended from driving for 12 months. Thomas was charged with vehicular manslaughter following the incident in 2022. He, however, pleaded to the causing death by dangerous driving. Facts are that about 2:40 p.m. on November 30, 2022, members of the St. Anne Fire Brigade were responding to a fire near the Reynolds Cruise Shipping Pier along the Old Cherries Main Road. Thomas overtook a line of traffic and lost control of the vehicle, which slammed into the fire truck, pinning Dawes into the truck body. The car then burst into flames. Frantic attempts were made to remove the pinned person. However, the firefighter was eventually cut from the wreckage and rushed to the St. Anne's Regional Hospital, where he died. Thomas was hospitalized for injuries received in the collision. He was subsequently arrested and later charged. Suspicious item seized, passenger taken into custody over security breach at Sangster's Airport. MBJ Airports Limited, the operator of the Sangster International Airport in Montego Bay, St. James, is reporting that the passenger along with the suspicious item that triggered a disruption in operations have been taken into custody. MBJ did not disclose the nature of the item in question. However, a source told reporters that the item is lighter in the form of a fake gun. In a statement, MBJ indicated that about 12:25 p.m., a security breach was detected at the airport. It notes that a suspicious item entered the security-restricted area, prompting an immediate response from the police and airport security. As a precautionary measure, the airport suspended boarding operations. 3 departing and 1 arriving flight were cancelled due to the disruption. MBJ says it also restricted further access to the security-restricted area and activated its emergency protocols in response to the breach. The protocol involved the implementation of enhanced screening for passengers pursuant to the requirements of the approved airport security program. Subsequently, the item in question was located by the police search team, as well as the passenger was taken into custody. Normal airport operations resume at 2:33 p.m. The police are continuing their investigations. MBJ says airlines are making alternative arrangements to transport their passengers to their respective designations as early as possible. NWC provides interim solution for water supply in Portland Cottage and environs in Clarendon. Residents of Portland Cottage and its environs in Clarendon can now access potable water resulting from the installation of 3 wayside tanks by the National Water Commission (NWC). The NWC says these initiatives aim to provide relief to the hurricane-ravaged communities of Rock Settlement, Water Lane, and Portland Cottage. The Commission says the tanks will be filled 3 times per day, allowing residents to access water as needed. This measure was necessary to alleviate somewhat the current situation as most residents lack proper storage, leading to a high demand for trucked water, said NWC Regional Manager for Clarendon and St. Catherine, Gawain Johnson. He pointed out that despite the NWC trucking over 30 loads of water to the communities daily, this amount is woefully inadequate. The installation of the wayside tanks is an interim solution to provide easy access to water for the affected residents. The communities are supplied by the Kemps Hill Water Facility, which remains out of operation since Hurricane Beryl. The NWC says it is working expeditiously to resolve operations at impacted water facilities across the island. Their technical principal optimistic about repairs. Although their technical high in Clarendon has been placed on a list of schools severely damaged by Hurricane Beryl, Principal O'Neill Lowen is optimistic that the repairs will be done in time for reopening on September 2nd. The Category 4 storm lashes Jamaica almost 3 weeks ago, lifting roofs and solar panels off building on the school compound and toppled over a greenhouse on its farm. Lowen told reporters that the institution also suffered some electrical damage due to falling light poles, but this is already being fixed. Up to last Wednesday, he said that the Ministry of Education was conducting a final assessment of the damage, with work expected to start. They have actually placed us in the priority group, 6 schools in Clarendon, and we are among the 6 because, from their analysis, we will need to be ready for September unless that repair is done, Llewellyn stated. Barrington Robinson, the director of Region 7 in the Ministry of Education, told reporters that 13 schools in the parish were impacted by the hurricane and need repairs. Of these, he listed Vere Technical, Mitchelltown Primary, Milk River Primary and Portland Cottage Primary as those that were severely damaged. Llewellyn, in the meantime, expressed satisfaction with the Ministry of Education's approach to the renovation process. I wouldn't complain about any kind of tardiness because, to be honest, I think they are moving swiftly when you look at the number of schools that are damaged, he reported. Speaking at a press conference last Friday, Education Minister Favour Williams disclosed that 85 schools have been identified as severely damaged and are expected to cost approximately $1.42 billion to repair. Overall, the ministry is facing a preliminary hurricane barrel damage assessment bill of $2.7 to repair damaged schools. With less than a third, 309 of the country's primary and secondary institutions accessed so far, Williams acknowledged that the figure could increase. It could increase, and that was as of last Thursday. As you heard, we reported at least 2 times now, and the number kept climbing as the building assessors go out, she stated. There are 1,010 public primary and secondary schools in the island. The ministry has categorized affected schools into 3 priority groups: severely damaged, moderately damaged, and those that sustained minor damage. Last week, 210 schools were classified as moderately damaged, while 114 schools were listed as having minor damage. Williams noted that repair works on those schools can be done while school is in session. She told reporters that based on the assessment and prioritization, she does not anticipate that the reopening of school will be delayed due to the effects of the hurricane. Already we have engaged the emergency procurement process. We have a long list of contractors, and we have identified some beginning source of funds, so we can move right away to begin the work, she stated. Displaced Rocky Point residents make most of shelter. For almost 3 weeks, Althea Brown and her husband Ivan have been taking turns sleeping on a cot in what served as her office of the hurricane shelter in Rocky Point, Clarendon. She is the manager of the facility, but like many residents in the community, she too has been displaced after Hurricane Beryl caused extensive damage to her home. The Category 4 storm battered Jamaica on July 3rd, totally destroying some 321 homes, 133 of which were in the parish of Clarendon, preliminary assessments have revealed. Another 617 homes in the parish were severely damaged, while 493 received minor damage from the monster storm. Brown, who was making lunch arrangements for the 31 residents at the shelter last Thursday afternoon, told reporters that an entire wall of her house collapsed on the night of the storm, causing major damage to her furniture and appliances. Even more heartbreaking, she revealed, was that her family home was also looted and thieves went away with her stove and gas cylinder. But even as she ponders rebuilding, Brown said that for now she is more focused on helping other displaced residents in need. Word on the ground and around is that it is the longest shelter ever opened since for a hurricane, but in truth and in fact, some persons don't have nowhere to go because they're totally destroyed, house smash up, others might have a few little zinc, and so to put them back together, Brown stated. Initially, there were 45 residents from Rocky Point and neighboring communities staying at the shelter. That number has since been fallen to 31, including 11 children. Fortunately, Brown said there are enough resources such as food and bedding to go around. She said residents are fed a hot meal daily by World Central Kitchen, an international non-profitable organization that provides food relief. The organization also provides the facility with a generator for electricity, and the residents take turn cleaning and refilling containers with water. Other NGOs such as Food for the Poor and Red Cross have also assisted the residents with resources. Although she admits that managing the facility can be stressful and hectic, Brown told reporters that operations have been smooth so far, with each resident playing their part to make their temporary home as comfortable as possible. Among them is Ezekiel Johnson, who helps her to cook breakfast every morning. The 53-year-old 4-bedroom house lost all its roof during the hurricane, forcing him to seek refuge at the Rocky Point shelter. Johnson is yet to start building, as his livelihood of making fish pot has been on hold, and although he admitted that his current living conditions are not ideal, he is happy to have a place to stay. It not too bad, but we have to put ourselves together and make ourselves happy. But some people no good, some cause and make trouble. But make quiet man, he stated. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.